Hey kids, Dad here. I am apologetically, maybe unapologetically, a little sweaty. Just finished a run on Tuesday, August 18, 2026, 3:30 in the afternoon. It's a humid one out there. So that run was not what I would have liked. I would have liked to do about 8 to 10 miles today. It was only 6.5. But you get this humidity like this, ugh, it's just icky. Sucks the energy out of my legs. Makes it harder to breathe for some reason. So, in any event, my thought today is cheerleaders. Just think about cheerleaders today. And no, Kavanaugh, not the kind of cheerleaders you're probably thinking about right now. You're almost 13. As I sit here right now, this moment recording this, my guess is you're thinking about cheerleaders in a whole different way than I am right now, just because I know where your head is, buddy. It's been a long time since I thought about the kind of cheerleaders you're thinking about. But the kind of cheerleaders I'm thinking about and talking about are the people who celebrate you in life, who give you encouragement, who boost you up. The ones who, on the sidelines of your life, root for you a little bit, give you that encouragement. Say, yeah, you can do this, man. Way to go. Nice job. Nice play. And, when I was your kid's age, I never thought much about cheerleaders. And actually, when I was in middle school, high school, Cav, I thought cheerleaders at sporting events were kind of ridiculous, right? They just stand there and say, "Go team, go." Like, weird. Obviously, that was when I was younger. I came to appreciate, if any of you three kids going to cheerleading, it's a competitive cheerleading. It's a viciously impressive, athletes and their talent, their discipline. But I never thought much of cheerleaders because I was young and stupid, right? So what I came to find, though, in life is when I look back from age 45 now, I can see there was some people along the way, and I've made some thank you videos to them, that were cheerleaders for me. In the military, I had a sergeant named Sergeant Shakir, and I was in the middle of a tour in Korea when she shows up, and I'm busting my butt every day doing the right thing. And man, she came by, she'd say, "Way to go, Ryan, nice job." And it wasn't being sarcastic. It was in her own way of doing it and saying it. She was a bit of a cheerleader. She boosted me up, let me know, "Hey, I see what you're doing. Keep doing it. What you're doing right now, that's awesome. Keep it up. I loved it. I love what you're doing." That, to me at the time, was crazy encouraging. And it helped boost me up to the whole next level. I ended up going to airborne school, working with special forces, all that good stuff. Would have never happened without a cheerleader like Sergeant Shakir saying, "Hey, Ryan, you're doing the right thing. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about all those knuckleheads over there doing the wrong thing. You keep doing you, because what you're doing is great." And, professionally, I had some people along the way that did the same. I know in sobriety, I've had some people along the way that have done the same. And, so obviously those are the kinds of experiences that are different than when you're maybe playing sports. In sports, the cheerleaders cheer for everybody. But what I've come to appreciate is in life, sometimes it's that cheerleader in life that will say, one-on-one, or celebrate you with a smaller group. And they'll kind of call you out and say, "Hey, this guy, he's doing the right thing. He's doing a really good job." And the reason I'm thinking about that is last night, I never thought about this until last night, because yesterday I had a strange day. I'm no longer have my day job. My day job ended yesterday, so that was disappointing, frustrating, surprising, but also at the same time, what I've learned, and thank you to, I'll go ahead and call it Doug CT, Doug from Connecticut. Doug had told me something over the weekend about where's the gift in it, find the gift in it. So when something like yesterday happened, where I abruptly, no longer have a daytime job, I started looking, where's the gift in it? Where's the gift in this? And the gift is I have a lot more time in my hands. So I have a lot more time to potentially help people. And what does that look like? I have no idea. That's why I hit my knees and pray and say, all right, God, I've got some time. What do you need from me? What can I do? How can I help one of your kids, God? And no idea what form that'll take. I just keep showing up and saying, hey, if anybody needs anything, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. I'm happy to help. And I'm confident that, as God will make clear what that next thing is to do with my time. And that's great. But so last night I'm sitting around a fireplace, a fire pit here at the house. And it's, I don't know, sunset. And I'm thinking, it's been a nice day. No longer have a job. But I was able to get a good workout afterwards. Pray, workout, ping pong between those two things for, about 2 hours. Then I was able to get on a support group meeting and just tell those folks, hey, I've got, a lot of my week just opened up. There's suddenly nothing on my calendar this week. If anybody wants to go through this big book, learn something about sobriety, I'm happy to go through it with you. We'll read through it together, see what we discover, see what we learn. And then, so sunset comes in, and I'm like, I'm ready to watch the sunset, throw a couple logs in the fire. And I'm doing that. And one of the residents here comes out, and he's one of the residents who's relatively new here, and younger than me, about 10 years younger. But I've noticed him, and I've really frankly taken a liking to him because he's come in and done all the right things. It reminds me of me in that sense. He's got that, they call it gift of desperation. He's really hungry to make a change in his life. And, like I've said before, because when you live with these guys, you get to see what their level of motivation is. So anyhow, sitting out there at the fire and sitting around just talking with the guys in the house. We're just joking around, just as guys, right? We're not talking anything serious. We're just having some laughs. And but then I come in and this guy texts me and asks me if I'm still up. And it's like 11 o'clock. I was about to go to bed. But I said, I could. He's like, well, yeah, if you have some time, whatever. And so we went back out by the fire, and he was just talking, sharing kind of what he's struggling with, kind of where he's at in life. And it was nice. I just sat and listened and got to learn, more about kind of his background, where he comes from, what his struggles are. And the wild thing was, at one point he made a comment about, he thanked me for he seemed pretty sincere, thank you so much, Ryan, for all you've done. I kind of chuckled. I'm like, I haven't done anything, man. I've been just trying to focus on my own stuff, and I got plenty of work to do there. And he called out and he said, he pointed out, or what he said he was thanking me for is that for being a cheerleader for him. And that was surprising to me. I never had somebody thank me for being a cheerleader for him. And he, so I'm kind of asking, what do you mean, man? And he went into a little bit about how, his whole life he's never had somebody who's looked at him and said, man, this guy's doing the right thing. Way to go, so-and-so. Keep it up. You're doing great. You got this. And, that made me smile in a sense, but it's also kind of heartbreaking to think that, there's people out there in the world that have maybe gone 10, 20, 30, 40 years of their life without anybody giving them the positive encouragement. And I was reflecting back today on my run about some of the people in my past and how timely and how helpful that positive encouragement has been and can be. When they recognize what you're doing, the effort you're making, and they tell you, hey, keep it up. Don't get discouraged. You're doing the right thing. I don't know what the future has for you, buddy, but it's going to be good if you keep doing what you're doing. And it was pretty touching to have somebody thank me for that, which I didn't even realize I was doing. I was just telling the truth. If I have a roommate who's waking up every day, going for a run, joining a support group meeting, going to work, working with a sponsor on the recovery, heck yeah, that person's doing everything right. They're doing everything the program of recovery asks you to do. Like, how do you not just say, dude, way to go, man. That's awesome. I've seen what you've been doing. Keep it up. You keep doing that, your life's going to get amazing. That's what we do, right? So anyhow, this one's run a little bit long, but hopefully you kids, if you listen to the whole dang thing sometime, it'll make you pause and maybe look around in your day and look for who's that person that you see out there who's working really hard to do the right thing. And maybe they're surrounded by some people who are, not giving them much encouragement or support. And maybe reach out to that person and just say, hey, I see what you've been doing. I just want you to know I recognize it and I admire it. Keep it up. You're going places if you stay on this path. And tell them you love them. And you kids, I know I don't get to say it every day, but I feel that way about all three of you kids every day. You kids are, between your schoolwork, your activities, your relationships that you have with other people, you keep doing what you're doing. Stay on the path you're on. Putting in the hard work, keeping that positive attitude. All three of you kids are going places, someplace special. I have no idea where that is, but that's the excitement. That's where God surprises us. So anyhow, yeah, shout out to the cheerleaders today, kids. Whether it's in sports, whether it's in life. I hope I get to continue to be your biggest cheerleader. Love you, kids. We'll talk soon.